Hey, Matt from SEP here. I'm just going to go over the construction of this potentiometer circuit using an Arduino. I'm going to go through it a little fast, but you can pause the video anytime you want. First, I'm going to search for Arduino up here, grab an Arduino, and then I'm going to search for the breadboard, grab a breadboard, and I'm using the reference in Classroom. You should have access to this picture in Google Classroom. So I'm going to orient my Arduino and breadboard like this by using the R key to flip it. I'll do the same with the breadboard, and so we get it like this. Now, it looks like we need an LED, a 330 ohm resistor, and a potentiometer. So I'm going to try and grab those next. LED, resistor, and here's the potentiometer right here. I'm going to flip the potentiometer because that's the way it looks in the picture. I'm going to plug it in right here. I'm going to flip the LED because that's the way it is in our picture there. And it looks like the resistor bridges across there, so let's select it and whoops, we'll place it right here. I'll change it to a 330 instead of kilo ohms resistor. And remember, their anode positive is on the bottom and their negative is on the top. I want my wires to look the same way because it'll be less confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that little swap again. Positive anode going down here. I'll make that a red wire. And cathode negative going up here. I'll make that a black wire. So now the positive anode is going to the resistor. And now we can start wiring things up, just like in the picture. So it looks like from the cathode we're going to ground, and that's going over here to ground. I'm following the black wire. So let's do that first. Here's the cathode. So from here we just move across right over to the rail. So we can do this, and oh, we can go right here actually. And then from here I'm going to go over, down to ground like that. And then the anode passing through the resistor is actually going all the way to pin 13 with that yellow wire. So let's do that next. I'm going to do something like this, like this, like this, like this, and pin 13. Let's make that the yellow wire just so I can see that the same thing is happening. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. Notice they also have a 5 volt running from 5V over here to the positive rail. So let's go ahead and do that before we forget. I'm going to do this, bring that up here. Looks like I might have to get a little messy and just kind of bloop, do that. And I'll make that red so I can see it. So even though it's crossing over the wires, it's not actually touching. These are wires, so in real life they're coated in rubber. They're not conducting or connected here. They're just one wire passing over the other. All right, now how do we wire up this potentiometer? It looks like positive goes to the positive rail. Down at the bottom we have a negative going to the negative rail, and a blue wire in the middle going to this A0 pin. What does that mean? Well, over here if we look, it says analog in. So that's a clue. We're going to go over that. We have the same configuration here even though our board is blue. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go from here positive to positive rail. And notice this is all connected all through this row. Negative, I'm going to go to the negative rail, and let's just make that a black wire. And then from here we're going to go to the A0. So right here I'll take a wire out, do this, and go to A0. And what color did they make that? Blue. Doesn't have to be blue, but just for the sake of this demo I'm going to make it blue. So we've wired everything up, and next week we're going to learn how to code this by hitting the code button and going to text, continue. Now this is the old code for a blinking LED, but we're going to put some new code, add some new code into this so that the potentiometer will change the speed of the blinking of the LED. All right, so we'll do that next week. If you've got this set up, you can just name it Arduino Circuit 2. And that should do it. Share it, save it, and turn it in. See you next time.